January 7th, 1945. A press conference room in Belgium. The cameras are ready. The reporters wait in silence. British Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery is about to speak. The Battle of the Bulge still echoes with gunfire. Thousands of American soldiers have bled and died in the snow. But what Montgomery is about to say will create a different kind of battlefield. His words will ignite fury. They will push Allied generals to the brink of resignation. They will threaten to shatter the very alliance fighting Hitler. And in London, Winston Churchill will scramble to prevent total catastrophe. This is the story of how one man's ego nearly destroyed everything and how another man's words saved it all. December 16th, 1944. The Ardennes Forest. In the frozen darkness, German forces unleash hell. 28 divisions crash through American lines like a tidal wave. This is Hitler's last desperate gamble. The surprise is total. The devastation, immediate. American units are surrounded, overrun, scattered. Some fight to the last man. Others retreat in chaos. The German advance carves a massive bulge into Allied territory. Behind the lines, panic spreads. General Dwight Eisenhower faces an impossible situation. His forces are split. Communications are breaking down. The German breakthrough threatens everything they've fought for. He makes a calculated decision on December 20th. He gives Montgomery temporary command of all Allied forces north of the Bulge, including 2 entire American armies. The reasoning is simple: geography. Montgomery's headquarters can coordinate better. Communications are more reliable. It's a tactical move, nothing more. But Montgomery sees it differently. In his mind, this isn't about logistics. This is about British leadership stepping in to fix American failure. For 3 brutal weeks, the battle rages. American soldiers fight in frozen foxholes. They defend the town of Bastogne against impossible odds. They hold the line while German panzers hammer their positions. The weather clears. Allied aircraft tear into German columns. Slowly, painfully, the tide turns. By early January, the Germans are retreating. The Bulge is collapsing. American forces have suffered approximately 80,000 casualties. British casualties? Around 1,400. The battle is won. The crisis is over. Or so it seems. Montgomery has other plans. January 7th, 1945. Montgomery's headquarters in Zonhoven. The Field Marshal is relaxed, almost jovial. He's about to make the worst mistake of his career. The stenographers record every word. The journalists scribble furiously in their notebooks. And with each sentence Montgomery speaks, he drives a dagger deeper into the Anglo-American alliance. As soon as I saw what was happening, Montgomery declares, I took certain steps myself to ensure the Germans would not break through. He's thinking ahead, he explains, deploying forces, giving them battle. Then come the words that will haunt him. This has been one of the most interesting and tricky battles I have ever handled. Handled. As if the entire battle belonged to him. As if American generals hadn't been commanding desperate defenses for weeks, but he's not finished. The first thing I did was tidy up the mess, Montgomery continues. Tidy up the mess. The phrase lands like a grenade. He's suggesting American forces were in chaos until he arrived to organize them. He praises American soldiers, but the praise cuts like a knife. The GIs make great fighting men given the proper leadership. The implication is devastating. American soldiers are fine, but their commanders were incompetent until Montgomery showed up. The press conference ends. Montgomery believes he's performed brilliantly. He has no idea what's coming. Within hours, the British newspapers run with the story. Montgomery halts German offensive, they scream. In America, generals read these headlines, and they explode with rage. General Omar Bradley's hands shake as he reads Montgomery's statements. His voice is ice when he calls Eisenhower. If Montgomery is not removed from command of American forces immediately, I will resign. This isn't a negotiation, it's an ultimatum. George Patton's diary entry is even more blunt. Montgomery is trying to steal credit, he writes. British command contributed nothing. American newspapers pick up the story. Editorial writers unleash fury. Military correspondents who witnessed the battle firsthand condemn Montgomery's version as fiction. The U.S. War Department is flooded with protests. Congress demands answers. Politicians call for American forces to be removed from British command. Permanently. The crisis spreads like wildfire. Eisenhower is trapped. He's the supreme Allied commander, but his coalition is fracturing. If he contradicts Montgomery publicly, he risks alienating Britain. If he stays silent, his American generals will revolt. The alliance that's supposed to be defeating Hitler is tearing itself apart from within. And the trigger? One man's desperate need for glory. In London, Winston Churchill receives the reports. Montgomery's press conference has created a disaster. Churchill's chief of staff notes the Prime Minister's fury. Britain needs America to win this war. Britain needs American soldiers, American equipment, American cooperation. Montgomery's ego has endangered all of it. Churchill makes a decision. He will go before Parliament. He will speak publicly. And he will do what Montgomery should have done from the start. He will tell the truth no matter how much it bruises British pride. January 18th, 1945, the House of Commons. Churchill rises to speak. Every word he's about to say has been carefully chosen. This isn't just a speech. It's a rescue mission. I have seen it suggested that this battle is an Anglo-American battle. Churchill begins. His voice is firm. In fact, however, United States troops have done almost all the fighting and have suffered almost all the losses. The statistics come next, cold and undeniable. The Americans have engaged 30 to 40 men for every one we have engaged. They have lost 60 to 80 men for every one of ours. Churchill is using numbers as weapons, demolishing any British claim to saving the Americans. Then he addresses Montgomery's role without naming him. Care must be taken not to claim for the British Army an undue share of what is undoubtedly the greatest American battle of the war. It's a rebuke, diplomatic but unmistakable. Churchill praises Eisenhower explicitly. He expresses complete confidence in American leadership. He calls the bulge an ever-famous American victory. The speech ripples across the Atlantic. American newspapers report it extensively. The fury begins to subside. Churchill's words work. The alliance holds, but the damage lingers. American generals never fully trust Montgomery again. Bradley calls him a menace to Allied unity. Patton writes, Churchill tried to fix what Monty broke, but we won't forget. Even Montgomery's own superior, Field Marshal Alan Brooke, admits the press conference was a mistake. Churchill saved the alliance. But he had to throw Montgomery under the bus to do it. Montgomery never truly understood what he'd done wrong. Years later, in his memoirs, he claimed the controversy was blown out of proportion. But Churchill knew better. He understood that alliances are built on respect, not arrogance. When Montgomery tried to claim credit for saving the Americans, Churchill did what had to be done. He told the truth. He honored those who actually fought and died. And with carefully chosen words in Parliament, he salvaged the partnership that would ultimately win the war. This wasn't just about one press conference or one battle. It was about leadership, about knowing when ego must yield to unity. Churchill's intervention on January 18, 1945, remains a masterclass in diplomatic crisis management. Sometimes saving an alliance means sacrificing pride. And sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't a gun or a tank. It's the truth, spoken at exactly the right moment.